Hey everyone, welcome back to the show.
Hey everybody, it's the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, two curious people who are
removing the stigma from your stinker.
Yes, we are. We're talking everything but holes, in, out, pleasure, health, poop.
Yes.
We got it.
And we have this awesome scientific-rific episode with you. We have Birgitt from spotLESS Materials. She sat down with us and talked about nanotechnology that actually cleans your toilet and keeps the doo-doo marks off it.
Yes. Would you want to know more about this? Well, you're going to have to listen to this episode. I found this product on an Instagram ad, and thank you, algorithms. It then brought us this fabulous guest who has invented this stuff that you put in the bowl, said the poo-poo does not stay.
Yeah, it's like a wicking. It's almost like a wicking shirt would work, but with just your toilet.
No more skid marks.
Yeah, stains, rust, all that stuff's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so if you got a brand new toilet you love, put this stuff on. It's gonna be it's like having a new toilet every single time you use a bowl. So.
Yeah, don't we have a Hey Poopy promo code with them too?
Yes, we do. They happen to be a sponsor as well. So thanks again, Birgitt, and thank you, spotLESS Materials, for supporting the show.
What a great, fun episode.
Yeah, she was great. She tells really fun stuff. A lot of sci-fi, and not sci-fi, it's actually real, but a lot of cool scientific stuff. And the fact that they kind of like started this project almost like on a whim.
Yeah.
In college, and now it's like an actual thing. So you're going to want to listen to this episode.
Yes, especially if your toilet bowl is dirty.
Yeah. And if you have any products that you think might work well on this show or someone we should talk to, give us a call at 203-998-5579.
Or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear all your stories from your poops, your farts, your butthole play. We want to hear it.
Yes.
Products.
I mean, we cover a lot of things on this show, so we can't find it all. You know, it's like not enough time in the day. So if you know of anything, let us know, and we'll get back to you.
Yes. And have you checked out our website, heypoopypodcast.com? It's the only place where you can link to our Patreon, where you can ask our future guests personal questions.
You can get cool merch. You can get insight. You can get actually like clips from the show. I mean, it's just amazing, and you should always be on there. Shout outs. Yeah.
We will follow you on Twitter. Whatever you want, we will do it to an extent, but you can even advertise with us. Yeah. You can even advertise with us on our Patreon with one of the tiers. So check that out.
Yes.
Ad-free episodes on Patreon.
That's a big one.
Yes, it is.
Also, you can subscribe, you can rate, and you can review us.
Yes. And so please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, like this fabulous review. 5 stars. I thought I heard it all. Wow, this podcast delivered cracks me up with nonstop potty laughs. Thank you to this anonymous reviewer.
Yes, thanks, Anonymous.
But if you don't want to be anonymous, we'll even shout you out.
Yeah, get a little bit of fame.
Yeah.
It's a small amount, but you'll get some.
It's something you can do for us that costs you nothing but a couple seconds of your time.
Yes, agreed. So, with that, thanks again for listening, and enjoy this episode with spotLESS Materials.
Yes.
We all want to feel fresh and clean after going number 2, but using wipes, even so-called flushable ones, can cause major clogging issues. Introducing Qleanse. That's Qleanse with a Q.
Which transforms your ordinary toilet paper into a truly flushable and eco-friendly wipe.
This cleansing foam is the perfect partner for your toilet paper at home or out on the go.
Visit Qleanse.com. That's Qleanse.com to get yours today.
Listeners can use the code HeyPoopy for 15% off your first order. Try Qleanse for yourself and discover a better way to wipe clean.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Welcome back, everybody, on this dump day.
Hey, everybody. It's the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, and this is episode 130, but it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number.
Yes, and we have an awesome special guest, the one and only Birgitt Boschitsch from spotLESS Materials.
Woo! Hey, thanks for having me on your show.
Of course.
Of course. Not only are we interested in talking to her, but she is also an advertiser.
Yes.
So use those promo codes, people. Get
Yes.
your products on.
And we're going to learn all about it very shortly.
Yes, Birgitt, before we go into what you do, we'd like to go into how you poo. So, how have you been pooping recently?
Pretty good, I have to say. I've been staying with family for a little while, and I get fed very well, so
Nice.
I'm very healthy, I think.
Ooh. I sent you the
Much better
Bristol
than what
stool
I-
chart. Did you see?
Oh, yes, I'd say I'm a healthy 4.
Ooh,
Yes.
the
I
gold
was studying,
Right
standard.
up the middle.
studying the chart, and I actually have a book from, I've been gifted many books from friends, so I think
Nice.
4 is a good.
Also, yeah, 4 is great. That's the gold standard.
Once you get into the poo and toilet business, all of a sudden, it's an avalanche of gifts of
Pretty much.
from people.
You become that person.
Yes,
Yep.
we should
You're
know.
like, oh, Jesus. Sometimes you're like, okay, you don't have to send me everything, but okay, cool.
What about you, Dave? How you been pooping?
Okay, I got up. I've been doing a whole thing where I'm getting up very early in the morning during the week, which sucks, but it's also kind of awesome because the amount of stuff I've been getting done is kind of ridiculous. Like just getting up that early. But as a result, I've been going to the bathroom at like 6:30 in the morning. And this morning for my run, I had like a very odd poop where it wasn't, I mean, I shit, but it was more like, it felt like way more was going to come out, and like this little tiny like nugget came out. And then,
I hate that.
you know, like, and I'm like, there's got to be more in here. And then like nothing really happened.
Did you use the stool?
I didn't use the stool.
Sometimes the stool helps me to get it out, or if I squirt some bidet
Yeah, I did.
water
Yeah, I
in
did
there.
that. I used that. I used the bidet thing. Nothing really happened. So it was really, it's a mystery. But you know, like it's still, the day's still young. I'm sure I'm gonna go to the bathroom again.
Let's
But,
hope.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Normally I have like a full, you know, evacuation, if you will. So Ellen, how was yours?
My today, I pooped twice. They were decent, like 4.5 5s. One time was on my meeting with my lovely co-host and our executive producer. And then
Nice.
the executive producer even stopped the meeting to be like, I have to pee, I have to get off the phone. And I was like, I've already peed and pooped on this meeting. Really? Like, come on. This is the
Yeah.
place to do it. But as you all know, I have to epic check-in. Yesterday, I pooped twice before my photo shoot in Prospect Park, and I was with this dominatrix who actually we have to have on the show. She loves pooping on people in her work. And after we were done shooting, we went out to lunch, and I got this taco, and I was like, do you have any hot sauce? And the guy was like, it's very spicy. And I was like, oh, okay, I can handle spice. And even my model turned to me and she goes, I can't do spice. I have really bad IBS. It will open the floodgates. And I was like, yeah, I'm usually pretty good with that. I honestly think she cursed me, because the minute I walked away from the restaurant and she like walked away on her in her own direction, all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I am not going to make it. And I walked to my car 3 blocks, had this moment where like, I'm literally going to shit my pants, drove right back to the restaurant and ran in, and I was beyond surprised there was no poo-poo in my pants. I swear to God, that hot sauce went right through me, like bam.
Yeah, I mean, I can't eat super spicy hot or food anymore, really, because of that.
Yeah.
It just wrecks my stomach. It's like kind of crazy. It's awful because I love spicy food.
But this is new to me. Like, is this going to be a trend?
maybe.
What the?
It must have been really spicy.
It was habanero.
Yeah, there you go.
But oh my God, I literally thought I was going to lose it, but I had 3 times in one day yesterday, so I can't be that mad.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, look, as I'm getting older, spicy food, really rich foods, I can't handle anymore. So I don't know. I think it's like a thing, a trend. It's unfortunate, but you know, I've had enough hot sauce in my life, I think.
Oh no.
Like really spicy food. So I think I'm good.
I need more. Just not in my pants or on the
Yeah,
floor.
I mean, that would be great for the show. Not good in public.
I literally, as I was driving back to the restaurant, I was like, going to have a story. I'm going to have a new story about shitting in my pants in my car for the show.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this is going to happen. I have had way too many close calls recently where it's getting kind of scary. It's like, it's just going to be that day where I'm going to come in and be like, it happened.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always my fear. Every day it's like a waking fear of like, do not shit your pants today.
Yeah.
If I can get through the day without doing that, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's sad about the hot sauce. So,
Yeah.
but now we want to know more about Birgitt.
Yeah.
Right?
After this epic check-in,
Yes.
Birgitt, tell us, what is spotLESS Materials? How did you get involved?
Yeah, what was the genesis of all this? Like,
Yeah.
how did this whole thing start?
Yeah, absolutely. Man, like, where did it start? So I would say that our story really begins when I was doing my PhD at Penn State. And my academic advisor, who is now my co-founder of spotLESS Materials.
Oh, nice.
His area of expertise is in nature-inspired engineering, and specifically in making super slippery materials. So way back, several years prior to me joining his lab, he'd made a big splash in the space developing a very slippery material. And so he was kind of known for...
I'm the slippery guy. I do slippery stuff.
Yeah, slippery engineering.
His nickname is like Lube or something. Luby.
I'll have to try. I'll have to see if he...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he's known for that, and so he was a pretty good candidate for helping solve some sticky problems. So one of these sticky problems was this sanitation challenge or the sanitation crisis actually that's happening around the world, still going on today, and actually currently I think it's over 4 billion people today lack access to safely managed sanitation.
Yeah.
And actually almost 1 billion openly defecate. So they don't have a bathroom, don't have anywhere to go except for outside. So this is a challenge that we had learned about, and actually even Bill Gates has some efforts going on there. Yeah,
we're very aware of the toilet. Yeah, his mission.
Yeah, the Reinvent the Toilet Challenge. So we weren't directly sponsored by that Reinvent the Toilet Challenge, but one of the groups that wanted to make a very slippery toilet, because many of these regions that are experiencing this sanitation crisis, many of them are also experiencing a water crisis. So not only do you have to figure out how to manage waste and poop and everything, you also have to figure out how to do that with very little water.
Yeah.
So the solution is to make a super slippery toilet. So we worked with this group to try to come up with a very slippery material that you could put on a toilet. And we actually, before even diving into making our own technology, we evaluated a few different slippery materials that existed out there. And a lot of them are really effective at repelling like liquids, but they're not very effective at repelling what we call viscoelastic solids.
That's a fancy way of saying skid marks.
That's a new t-shirt.
Yes.
That was the best, like, the most like, hey, how can we dress this up? I love it.
We wanna, like,
Scientific
make a
term.
that everybody likes and knows, viscoelastic. We're like, oh, how do we but yeah, poop. So yeah, a lot of these materials out there weren't very effective at repelling poop. So we developed this new material specifically to repel poop.
Well, my wife will love that.
Yeah, so that's really how we got started. I personally, I was getting my PhD, and I was really interested in science and mechanical engineering, and with a focus on materials. And I became really interested in seeing these technologies actually make it to the real world. And about halfway through grad school, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great technology. How do we get this out there? And I should add, one of this was the dissertation work, ended up becoming the dissertation work of one of my lab mates,
Okay.
Wong. So this was his dissertation work. He and my academic advisor had been working on that. I'd been working on some very similar other types of slippery materials and nature-inspired materials, but this one was pretty close to, something that was ready to bring to market, bring it out there, and I was very passionate about seeing this technology make it to the real world. So that's the origin story. There are lots of like fun stories surrounding it, but that's how we got started.
Oh wow, okay.
So break down the technology for our listeners. Like, what is this?
Yeah. So the way that our technology works is we start out with what are basically nanohairs on a surface. And those nanohairs act like a small sponge that holds onto a layer of liquid lubricant. Yeah. And then you basically get this sort of permanent pool of a very thin pool of liquid on a surface.
So that's interesting, because it seems like, and it goes on any kind of surface, or is this like glass, ceramics, and it just sort of like, I guess, lubes up the toilet, and then how long does it last for? Is it ever, or is it like kind of?
So yeah, great question. So the current formulation that we're selling works on glass and ceramic. So yeah, but basically those two types of surfaces, and we've quantified it in terms of flushes. So we know that it just starts to degrade after about like 500 flushes, but that's only when we just start to see degradation. And that's when the lubricant starts to wear off. We're also looking at it in terms of like abrasion and other different ways to like evaluate how long it lasts. But flushes, we think, is the best way. We are kind of, with the formulation that we're selling, we're recommending people like reapply it every couple weeks to, once a month, depending on how frequently they use.
Right. Yeah, so if you take a lot of dumps, you might be like reapplying more often than not.
Need to replenish a little more often.
Right. Fair enough. Cool.
And I know you don't want to tell us exactly what's in the secret sauce, but like, what is it? Is like, besides the nano hairs? Because I just because I'm being a little bit crazy, but I think of like Teflon, and how Teflon is actually really bad for all of us, and how that was like a slippery surface for metal. And so I'm just wondering, what, like, is this environmentally friendly? What's in it?
Yeah, great question also. So we designed our formulations to be something, obviously it's going down the toilet, it's going into the sewage system. We want to make sure that this is something that can be safely entered the sewage system and managed by wastewater treatment plants. So the main source of the lubrication that we're using is a silicone-based type of material. So this is something that you'd find in makeup. It's already going down the sink. And also we've looked into, what happens to silicone in the environment. And we've read some papers that show that it degrades into, I think it degrades naturally in the environment. And I also visited a wastewater treatment facility personally, just to make sure I understood what was happening, at every stage, post toilet. Our team went there. We went and asked lots of questions. We took a field trip to our local wastewater treatment facility to make sure, we understood what was happening after it's flushed. Anything's flushed away. But yeah, basically materials that you'll already find can be managed by the wastewater treatment facilities, that we're making sure that we're sticking to those types of materials.
I mean, cool. we do everything from poop to pleasure, and some of the pleasure we do is we talk to people who like anal, and one of the things that they do with anal is use silicone lube. So they put that inside their body. So this is something you're putting just inside your toilet. So
yeah, it's definitely, we're working with materials that we want to make sure, if you get it on you, if it were, in your toilet, we won't say that you can eat it, or we
right.
apply it to your body. But we've chosen chemicals specifically to make sure that, if something like that happened, we'd, it'll be okay.
Yes.
But yes, I don't recommend spraying this on you.
Yeah. This is not for inside your butthole. This is for inside the toilet.
You would think you would net to say that, but there's a bunch of people out there that probably are like,
They're like, silicone? Oh, this will work.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Some of the comments that we got pretty early on in like our science, we published a scientific paper, and like some of the comments we got like on social media were like, oh, like I thought we sprayed this on our butt.
Wow.
No. And again, we clarified all of that when we turned it into a product.
Right,
But,
right, of course.
One or two in there, and we're like, no.
Like there's like a little illustration of like a butt with an X through it. Like, just don't spray it on your butt.
Don't do this.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, though. I mean, some people had pretty creative ideas. Does this just keep your butt clean forever? And we're like, no.
No.
Yeah, people. Yeah, I mean, like you're always gonna get when you go to hotels or like any place has like those weird signs. You're like, why would you need a sign that said that? Because someone did that thing that they weren't supposed to do. That
Yes.
you wouldn't think in a million years anybody would do. So yeah.
And everybody always wants to, everybody looks at something and goes, how is this going to make my sex life easier? And it's like, this is not the product for you.
Yeah.
Look somewhere else. We don't recommend.
Yeah, we're not in that market at all. It doesn't even say in the product. It just doesn't reference it at all. So yeah.
I know. I'm like, as I'm, when we started sending out our first set of products, I was like, okay, what could go wrong? All the ways that what should we put on our labels to make sure people don't do this? And we thought, and we're like, okay, not intended, I mean, hopefully it's obvious. It's like a toilet coating.
You would think. I mean, look, I'm with you on that. You there's no way anybody's going to think about this, but I guess we got to put it on there because there's that one person.
One of my biggest fears. Please don't use this product for anything but on the toilet.
And you sent us some product. I haven't done it yet because I have been crazy swamped with work now that everything's opening up again. But from what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you drain the toilet of the water. So you turn off the water source, flush, and then you clean the bowl and then to make sure that it's dry. Then you spray this silicone on, and then it almost creates its own barrier to keep the porcelain bowl slippery.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. You have to drain the toilet the first time. So yeah, you drain it. Clean it out one last time because we want to make sure that there's no for new toilets it's pretty easy,
right.
But for toilets that have been used for a little while, sometimes there's mineral buildup or residue of various kinds on the toilet. So we want to make sure that it's like a fresh ceramic surface that you can apply this to, because that's for the best application. And you also want to make sure that it's not a toilet that's been pre-coated. So some really fancy toilets like Toto and toilets that have like glazes on them or special glazes, they're already hydrophobic.
Oh.
So that's one thing we want to make sure that if you have a super fancy toilet and it has this coating on it, you might want to just check with us first. But most people have a regular ceramic toilet. Pretty much almost all of them are
American standard, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, once you have that, and it has to be dry, and then you apply the coating, and then it's ready to go. Yeah. And then what's happening is that we're spraying on, when you're spraying on that nano hair and that lubricant at the same time. So then you have this pretty stable liquid, basically lubricated surface.
Cool. And then it also said in the directions that you should wear a mask and gloves and have a ventilated area. My bathroom doesn't have a window. Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah. So we are very, very, we basically think worst case scenario, what could possibly happen? Someone's in a tiny little room, shuts the door, and we really want to avoid any problems. It's basically like if you were in a room with rubbing alcohol, it has those kinds of smells. We just want to make sure that people aren't inhaling.
You probably have a fan or something.
Yeah.
So
it's not like bleach and ammonia mixed together.
No. Yeah,
No.
Definitely not. It's more just we know people are sensitive to smells. We don't want people. And we've actually, our formulations, we've again, we're iterating through products, but this one, we've worked on some of the smells, and so we have nicer smells now. But some of the earlier versions of our product were a little bit strong smelling, and so we just wanted to make sure it didn't affect anyone, especially if someone has asthma or something like that. We're just thinking, okay, what's the worst case scenario, and
it's smart. Just add it to the directions. You might as well.
Yeah. But no, it's not at all this is some toxic substance that's like ammonia and bleach. No.
And then you have this touch-up spray that you don't have to drain the toilet to do.
Exactly. Yes.
And so how does that work?
Yeah, so that's the maintenance spray. That is basically replenishing that lubricant that I talked about. So the first part puts on the nano hairs and the lubricant, and then that maintenance spray. Those nano hairs are actually pretty strongly bound to the surface, so those are not going to degrade as quickly as the lubricant. So that maintenance spray is intended to just refresh that lubricant,
Right.
and that's really what's
It's like rehydrating it, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that's
those
what you
things-
do like once a month or once every couple weeks?
Yes. So that's easier. You don't have to flush the toilet. So hopefully that saves people a little bit of time. We know that first draining step, we want to make sure people don't have to do that as often.
Yeah.
So yeah, the maintenance spray, just spray above the water line and flush, and it kind of
Cool.
attaches itself. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, I can't wait to try it out.
yeah, and so when you're at home, you use this. What have you noticed the difference besides like just skid marks? Like, are there no more rust? Is there?
Yeah, so there's a lot of variation. Actually, like it's really interesting hearing like what everybody, like the feedback that we get from customers and from like our team, and just getting different experiences, and then also friends that I know like very well that have like purchased the product and give me their their feedback, and it kind of depends on like where you live. So we've put it like where I live in Pennsylvania, or I was living in Pennsylvania, there's like a lot of hard water. In some places, some people have, I don't know, we don't know yet what this issue is, but they have like there's like a yellowing of the water line.
Yeah.
Some people have
seen
different
that.
kinds of like poop that they're dealing with. So it really, it's very interesting to hear that kind of feedback. And one thing that we sort of expected, but we hear people get really excited about, is just like how easy it is to clean if anything does attach. So yeah, if their normal cleaning routine is sort of simplified with the product. So that's
I was going to say,
exciting, too.
it probably makes your bowl look a lot cleaner for like longer.
Yeah. So there's like the aesthetic part of it. There's the, what it's repelling side of it. And then there's just easy clean. And what we're trying to accomplish is actually, if we can make it easier to clean, maybe you need to clean it less often. And if you clean it less often, then you're not flushing as much cleaning chemical down the toilet. You're not using as much cleaning chemicals. And like, at least if people do like clean their toilets the recommended way, which I don't do.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah. I
He
think
just
the
cleaned it.
recommendation is like 4 ounces of toilet bowl cleaner every week, and that's like the standard cleaning protocol. And that's actually like a lot of chemical and plastic and everything that's getting wasted to like clean the bowl. So we're
Yeah.
like, what if you have to do it less often? Like that'll save you.
I mean, yeah. No one likes cleaning the
save you
toilet, so I mean that's
Yeah.
you're already like converting a bunch of people out there listening to this because they do not like cleaning the toilet bowl. It's disgusting.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's the number one. I depending on what sources you read, I think it's the number one most hated like chore. in,
Yes.
like domestic.
Yeah, I mean
cleaning the
it's
toilet.
gross.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty disgusting.
When the
We're-
pandemic happened, when like the lockdown of the beginning of the pandemic happened, I was like yelling at my partner. I was like, I'm not scrubbing the toilet. You shouldn't. Like, I just don't want to do it. Like, talk about ruining the romance, Like, yeah, I don't want to do it.
No, it's definitely, it's disgusting.
It's a necessary evil, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't mind scrubbing my own toilet, but not the toilet that anybody else is shit in. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah. I in families where one person's like in charge of like cleaning it or, whatever, that's a lot of people you have to clean up after, and that's really gross. So
yes.
yeah, we hope we can like eliminate that, or at least like substantially reduce how much time you have to spend, interacting with the toilet that's not just like pooping. So
Totally.
yeah.
yeah, and actually you asked about like what else it does. So since we're a bunch of scientists, we also quantified like what reductions we can see in the lab. So we actually can achieve, we looked at the repellency to solid, like to poop. We also looked at the bacteria repellency,
Ooh.
and we also looked at the mineral waste, like how much mineral waste will build up over time. And this is in a lab setting, so we're using like, samples instead of like full toilets.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can, in all of those cases for solid waste, bacteria, and mineral deposits, we can actually repel 90% more of each of those things, 90% or more of each of those things compared to like an untreated glass or ceramic surface.
Wow.
Cool. So wait, so in the lab, is there someone like that just is like, I gotta take a dump in this toilet? Is like as a test, or is it like, do you have like sample material like fake poop?
Oh yeah, it's actually there are like research articles on like how to make poop formulas.
Yeah.
It's, like, very much
I've
like
seen it.
yeah, it's pretty excellent. So we do make our own like fake poop, and you have to be careful about it because if you leave it too long, it starts to smell like real poop.
Ooh.
It's pretty bad. So have to have protocols for like, how long you keep it after you've prepared it, and they got to get rid of it. So yeah, but there are different formulations out there, but they try to get the consistency, of poop, and even the like, how much oil versus like, solid.
Yeah.
And it's so we're using a lot of that. Actually, if you're interested in if you haven't eaten recently and you're interested in watching some disgusting videos, but also amazing videos because they're, science. One of our scientific papers, we have a bunch of like supplementary videos that are really great, but also like,
Really gross.
yeah. And one of the collaborators on that paper did do real poop testing, but they have this very elaborate setup where you have the test surface at a certain position, and you have the waste entry point at a certain position, and it's all fixed because you have to have the same controllable setup. And so they'll put a little it's like a little poop cake, and, and then you drop it onto the surface, and then you let the surface like flip from horizontal to vertical, and you see if it slips off. So
Cool.
pretty
Yeah,
fun.
send the video. I'd love to take a look at that.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I can send it to you guys afterwards.
please.
We can totally link it.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun.
that's hilarious.
Ellen, you asked about Teflon. We did compare our material to Teflon and some other slippery surfaces, and none of them are very good at repelling poop. So, except for the SPOTLESS.
And Teflon is so bad for all of us. Like it's one of those chemicals that are inside of all of us, thanks
Yep.
to
They're forever chemicals.
Yeah,
it's so
definitely wanna
scary.
avoid that. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I love the whole science behind it. I love the fact that you guys just were basically in school, like just doing this stuff, and this turned into an actual like product. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely it's really fun, the experience of like being able to like study it from a scientific perspective, and then like actually get it to the real world. Personally speaking, I went to grad school because I'm like, I really want to learn how to make technologies that are going to help people.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, well, my entrepreneurial experience is going to be learning how to get those technologies to people. So, have them realize the impact that, realize the potential that they have. And that's what I'm really passionate about. But yeah, the journey from, the type of conversations you have like as a scientist about poop are like kind of funny when you step back a little bit. We're like, oh yes, like how viscous is it? Really quantifying.
Liquidy, is it?
Well, that was what I was about to ask. Like, what was your whole thing with poop before this product? Were you scared to talk about it? Like when you dived into something like this, all of a sudden you become the person who's aligning themselves with poop. So
Yeah, well, I wasn't really shy about talking about it before. I mean, I'm pretty open about like, this is a real problem, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And so, and before that, even before I like really understood like the global problem, I mean, even just like personally, you're like, oh, well, we all poop. Why can't we talk about it?
Yep.
So I was kind of okay with it. And actually just I guess, maybe a few months ago or a little bit, my dad sent me these pictures of me as a kid and me with like a plunger like next to the toilet. He's like, oh, I should have known this is like
Foreshadowing. I love it.
yeah. And I have a kind of funny story that I thought is like appropriate for.
Sure.
So when I was like, oh gosh, I don't know how old I was. Definitely like, you know, when you're learning, you're getting potty trained and everything. I was like really proud of the first time I pooped in one of those like kiddie potties. So like so proud that like I told my mom to like hold on to it until my dad got home.
Oh,
Like, don't get rid of it, Mom. Like,
you're like,
so
frame it. I did it.
That's hilarious.
It was like my creation. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very proud.
It's like
of
on the
myself.
fridge with a magnet holding it up.
Didn't that happen to one of our past guests, Autumn's mom? Didn't she have a picture of her first potty poop?
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
it was-
Polaroid or something like that. Yeah.
And she kept it on the fridge for decades.
Yeah.
Decades.
Couldn't find it anymore.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's,
It wasn't-
that's so funny.
I'm confusing different people, but yeah. Yes, that was that happened.
Yeah.
And
So
and I'm thinking about like your picture with your plunger. It's like the meme that's going around like how it started and how's it going.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. I need to do one of those.
Yeah.
with that
Yes.
picture. That's a great idea.
That's perfect.
Oh,
This is
my
actually
goodness.
this might be a good segue to go into some questions.
Yeah, totally. Are you cool with us asking you some of our regular questions?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Cool. What kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
Oh, definitely over. I feel very strongly about that. And
A lot of
I have-
people
Most
do.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about that. And I would say that like Charmin, I have to go with that one. I mean, I really love the Bears, and I actually am a huge fan of like the jingles. So I'm a little biased. I love it.
That advertising got you.
Yes, Shiny Heiny. I love their acting.
Shiny Heiny.
Charmin.
Charmin.
Anyway.
I forgot.
Charmin
Remember?
Ultra Strong.
Oh wow. Remember when Charmin was like, "Don't squeeze the don't squeeze the Charmin," right? That was back in the day. Don't squeeze the Charmin. I just forgot about. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Speaking of toilet rolls, really quick though, I saw recently that Charmin, I think it was like this year, maybe it was last year, they created, probably as a joke, like a roll bot.
Oh yeah, we did a story on that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
You
It was
guys are the
hilarious.
person.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. We totally did that as a news article, and we're like,
I just like the idea that Charmin has like a lab somewhere, and they're like, "We're gonna make this robot." It's like, what?
for people who are too lazy to put the
Yeah.
new toilet paper on the roll.
It's really funny.
But you have to preload the robot, so I'm like, oh darn, that's a lot to think about ahead of time.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day watching Oprah, she said that. She was like, I've never been one of those people who can change the toilet paper roll that easily. I mean, she probably has a staff of people who do it for her. And then she's like, one day I just did it and realized it takes like 5 seconds. Why am I so lazy? And I'm like, because you're
rich.
Oprah?
Because you're rich. If you're that rich, you're not changing toilet paper rolls. It just happens. So, it probably gets to like, I don't know, 50%, and the roll magically, is back to 100. Like, and the staff just takes the extra back home. I mean,
So
there's no,
funny.
yeah. She's probably never done it since. I can imagine.
Birgit, do you sit or stand to wipe your butt?
I have tried both, and I think sitting is more comfortable.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
I mean,
When
some
was
people
younger,
are
it was
leaners, lean forward, lean squatting. So, yeah.
Standing's like if you're in a porta potty or like, you're in a bad situation where you're like, I can't sit down. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Public
definitely.
toilet.
If it's a porta potty, yeah.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not sitting.
Yeah.
Avoiding that seat at all costs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I mean, we know your first memory of as a kid with the plunger and your first potty, which is amazing. I would love to see a photo of that, of you with the plunger, not the potty. But what's your best cure for diarrhea or constipation?
I was thinking about that, and this is probably, I don't have a super good solution to this, but I know for me, and this probably doesn't work for everyone, but if I really need to go, it's like I need to get it out, I drink coffee. And I know that has the opposite effect for some people, it dehydrates them, but for me it's instant like.
No, we've had a lot of guests that use coffee. That's like their go-to.
Yeah, coffee's
Yeah.
like the number one answer for constipation. Yeah.
If I'm ever constipated, I'm gonna have. I mean, I don't even drink coffee, but if I ever get constipated, I'm just gonna have to take one for the team and just chug it down because
I want to be there when it
I think
happens.
coffee is disgusting. But it seems like it works really well because a lot of people talk about it. So
Yeah, actually, I wonder if now I'm wondering if we should do like a partnership with like Starbucks or something. Like, so you're like, okay, you gotta drink your coffee, but then you have this bowl.
Yeah,
right?
it's covered in poo.
And you're like, especially those Starbucks bathrooms are awful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And who's really cleaning them? The baristas.
Oh.
I don't think they have, like, maybe at the end of the day they might have somebody professional, but with all those people passing through,
It's a nightmare. I would never
poo.
ever do this.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I can go to like a coffee shop now that like I know that they have to clean it and make my coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's this restaurant that I've been to a couple times, and to deodorize their bathroom to make it smell good, they have this huge bowl of coffee beans. And for me, I like coffee, but there's something that of kind of a turnoff that like when you're trying to poo in this restaurant and all you smell is like strong coffee, you're like, no.
Still better than shit smell.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to like associate those smells together because then like when you it's like, what is this, like Pavlovian learning? Like,
Yes.
Like trained yourself to like when you think of coffee, you think of poop, and like vice versa. That doesn't sound good.
Whatever works.
Yeah, I'm okay like if you smell coffee and you have to poo, but I don't want them to combine together exactly at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just
Ruins the coffee. Besides spotLESS materials, what products do you like to use to help you with pooping? Do you have a stool? Do you have sprays? All that stuff.
I love bidets.
Yes.
Yes, I love them, and I've known about them for a while, like, but I finally bought my first one like before the pandemic. Well, before, I think it was 2020, and like early 2020, like before, well, maybe like end of 2019, and yeah, I was super. I love it. I could rave about it all the time. Yeah.
I love them. It's so hard. Yeah. The only thing that sucks now is like when I travel, I have a little travel one, but it's just like it's so funny because like I was away a few weeks ago and it just like I went to go like turn on. I'm like, oh, it's not here. I don't have a bidet here. Attachment. So I kept like doing that with that motion of like turning it on. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I go for that squeeze bottle.
So I think I may have like hooked up the plumbing slightly wrong. I mean, it's not that hard. Like it's just like there's not that much to hook up. So I don't know if something's like off with my like the design of my bidet, but it's like a jet. Like I have to put it on like 0.5.
Oh really? Oh, I would love to have a jet. Like I mean, mine's pretty. It's okay, but I want it like crazy spray.
Yeah, like a water pick to your butthole.
No,
just getting all the plaque off.
I want it to be like when you see people, they open up a fire hydrant. Like that's that pressure. I want it like that.
So I discovered these. I was in, I guess my first like set of experiences with these like bidets were like, I guess I had a few, but like the nicest experience was in, I think it was California. They're like all over in like public bathrooms in California, and like they're warm and like the water's warm and you can change all these settings. And like I definitely got the cheap version of the bidet. So like it's fine, but like I really like if it has like a warm jet, then like that's luxury.
Yeah,
like, that's what I want. Next one I get.
I'm so used to the cold now that I don't think I could deal with warm anymore. Like I'm so used to having a cold. It's like refreshing. Even in the winter, I'm like, oh, it's nice.
Cuts through that hot ass.
It wakes you up. Definitely wakes you up in the morning. You're like, woo.
Okay, Birgitt, our favorite question. If you a Bristol 7 coming out of you with no toilet in sight, are you picking your pants or the floor?
Oh yeah, this definitely depends on like where I am.
You can pick the location.
Okay, yeah. If it's around a lot of people, definitely pants.
Yep.
But if no one's around, then like, I mean, floor or like wilderness, like, going out. I would yeah, outside.
Like the ground, whatever the ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
indoor, outdoor, doesn't
like in the
matter.
bushes, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's very circumstantial, but
Yeah. And then I'd really want to have that personal bidet. I don't have one. I need to get one of those.
a little port. I mean, you could just get. You could do. I mean, they're all over the place. Just Google it. You find a bunch.
Or even our other advertiser, Qleanse. When I had that hot
yeah.
ass yesterday, I was so thankful I had my Qleanse in my purse with me because it was a mess. And I would just be wiping and wiping and wiping. And I was able to make my own little baby
It's like
wipe.
a little spray foam. So basically, you make your own wipe with it. It's really great.
You
It's
can make your own
fantastic.
baby wipe with the toilet paper that is there.
It doesn't matter the brand or anything. It's
Yeah.
just spray it, a little foam spray, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
All natural.
Yeah, to that episode of Hey Poopy, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's great.
It's great.
It does
I'm
work
so
really well.
thankful when I have it on me.
Yeah, it's a good alternative if you don't have like a bidet or something, some water access.
Yeah.
I definitely need to get that.
Oh, yeah. I carry it in my purse everywhere because I will poop in public. It just happens. Hopefully not on the floor, but it will happen.
For sure. It will definitely
It's
happen.
like already stressful, like doing that. Like,
Yeah.
in
Yes.
public. Like you need to have. I get very stressed when like people are waiting for me, like in line. There's like a line for me.
Oh, it's the
outside
worst.
door.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't have that.
It's the worst.
But then you get like the hot and cold sweats and you're just like, oh my God. Like, yeah, it's awful. The anxiety makes it even worse.
Very
sure.
stressful. Yeah, I only go in like public toilets that have like multiple stalls, so like people. It's not only on me.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be anybody.
So, but Birgit, we have to ask, has it ever happened to you? Pants or floor?
It never has.
Wow.
I'm very fortunate. Yes. I mean, maybe when I was a kid and like, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like an adult.
Yeah. But I don't think it's ever happened. I'm like, I was thinking, I'm like, has this like, yeah, I don't think, I know I'm fortunate. That's a good thing. But
Yeah, we've had like a
Never
small
happened.
percentage of guests that have like never happened to them yet. Or ones that we've had
Yet, that is that's the key word.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been close calls, definitely. Like, but I'm somehow I've managed to like barely make it, and it's been okay. But
Good for you. You're blessed.
You have a strong
like-
butthole.
Yeah.
I like how you added yet though. So
Yeah, I mean, well, no one wants it to happen, but maybe look, you could go through life without ever shitting your pants. That'd be amazing. I mean, there must be people out there that's happened to. So
I don't believe them.
it's not impossible.
I don't believe
But
them.
I think it's a small, like tiny. That'd be actually an interesting like episode. Have you ever shit your pants? Like, no. Like, how old are you? 80. Like, what? That's even more impressive. You can get to that age and still not do it. That's awesome genetics.
Yeah.
I think you guys have to do a survey, just like
Yeah, I kind of like
sample people.
want to know
like,
that.
Get those statistics.
Yeah.
I want to know.
You
Like
know?
we had a guest on once that he was like, I used to be one of those people like, how dare you? And then it happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, you get caught every once in a while.
Yeah, so don't ever judge. Don't judge people.
I definitely don't judge. I've at least experienced the panic.
You've
Yeah.
worked with enough viscous material to understand.
Oh, exactly.
It's real.
And we've gotten lots of like information and feedback from customers, and like we're like, okay, yeah, not judging at all.
They're like, can I put this in my pants? Will it slide off my underwear?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, that should be phase 2 for spotLESS materials. If it goes on fabric, you can put it on a car so the bird shit slides off of it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
do that.
Oh.
We do that. Yes, we do have an automotive line of products too.
Oh.
And the
Yeah, they don't
Amazing.
just have toilet.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh my God.
So, and the first time I put it on someone's car, I had to like scrape off some bird poop, and I'm like, this won't happen again. So,
Holy shit. That's amazing.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
No more shit.
Yeah, no more shit. I mean, because you see those cars out there like just covered in bird shit. And it
Oh,
wrecks
yeah.
your paint job. It's like really bad.
Yeah, in New York, you cannot park underneath a tree. You will like be
Yeah.
just covered in pigeon and bird
So-
shit. Oh, it's so gross.
Amazing.
It's literally, that's the one thing that like there's a big highway here in New York called the BQE, and pigeons live under there. And I literally, my skin crawls every time I have to walk under there because there's just piles of pigeon shit because it doesn't wash away. So it's like, Oh, it's so. I'm like, there's diseases just growing in that pile of bird shit. Ugh.
It's pretty gross, for sure.
Yeah.
And also, is the worst public toilet you've ever seen?
Oh, okay. I have an answer to this.
Yes.
I was in San Francisco, right by the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little, I don't know what side it was on, but it was around there. It was around there. And they, the public bathroom, there were multiple stalls, and I did the check, you're like, nope, not that one. Nope, not that. I went through all of them, and none of them were,
acceptable,
exactly. And they had toilet paper was piled up and coming out. And people couldn't flush anymore, but they kept I guess there were enough emergency situations that people kept using them, and
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
It was really, really full. So
that's pretty bad.
And nobody was even bothering to fix that problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know what was happening there, that it was just mountains of toilet paper.
Oh, they were short-staffed that day apparently, because that's just ridiculous.
Some large group had a bunch of emergencies at once, but I don't know. It was a situation. I was I can wait. I'll cross it.
Yeah, I don't have to go so much anymore.
We talk about on our show, if you poop on somebody else's poop, it's called the double dragon. But if it's many people's poops, what is that?
I don't know, disgusting. It's all disgusting.
The disgusting double,
It's
triple,
just-
quadruple
It's just
dragon.
things you can't unsee.
That was so bad.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Birgit, do you have anything else to share with us?
I think this is pretty good. I was trying to think if I have anything else, any fun facts, but I think you covered a lot. A lot of it.
We have this. It's a little game. You have two awful choices, and you got to pick one. They're horrible, but they're pretty bad.
Sounds like fun.
Okay, I got a good one. Ready? Would you rather rub poop all over your body or have a million mosquito bites?
Oh my gosh. Oh. Well,
That
if I
is a
didn't
shame.
die-
I would go with.
Million.
Sorry, you're the guest first. I just already had a thought about that, but you go first, Birgit.
Well, as long as I don't die from the million mosquito bites, I'd probably go with that. But I don't know about the reaction. If I got a really bad reaction and had to be in the hospital for a long time, then I'd probably just go with the poop. But
I'm going with the poop because mosquitoes will kill you.
Yeah.
And if you say a million mosquito bites,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the poop all day. You wash that off.
I'm thinking Naked and Afraid style, when they are naked and they just get attacked by mosquitoes at night and they're covered, versus rubbing shit all over themselves.
Yeah. Yes, I would go with the
if
shit.
death is involved, then with the mosquitoes, then poop all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, because the mosquito thing, even if you weren't gonna die, just the thought of that, it's your skin and it's gonna be ruined for a while.
Yeah.
So
I feel
go
like
with
the poop,
shit.
rub it on, wash it off. You're done. Versus the mosquitoes, you're gonna be itchy for days. Ugh.
Are you naked with the? I mean, is it just
Well,
you're
it's a
totally
million
naked?
mosquito
So it's gotta be
bites.
naked.
So I'm thinking.
Okay.
I was inspired by Naked and Afraid when I
Right.
wrote this shitty
Clearly.
choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the shit. I don't want to do it, but I'd rather have that. I think you could jump in a river.
Hey, it's a shitty choice.
Yeah. So okay,
yeah.
we all picked shit. All right.
That's the first time too. Usually for shitty choices, we stay away from the shit. This is the first time we're maybe
Yeah.
shit isn't so bad.
As long as it doesn't
Oh.
attract the mosquitoes later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe
yeah, how
it
long?
would repel. You would be covered in shit and you would never
No.
get bitten by a bug ever again.
I'm going with the shit because I feel like once you're done rubbing it in, you can just wash it off.
Yeah.
Mosquito bites last forever.
Yeah.
And if you have a million of them, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It depends
Carry
on the
disease.
kind. If it's human or
Yeah. If it's my poop,
Yeah, you can be your own poop.
yeah, then that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm
Or
fine with
baby
that.
poop, Some pure poop.
Yeah. I don't want either of those, but okay, I'll go with mine.
Man-made viscous poop that's
Yeah.
been sitting in the lab too long.
Yeah. Ugh.
pretty borderline. I
It's
don't know.
on the shelf. You're like, it's not real, but it sure smells real. Oh my God.
That bacteria, that can really do something.
Oh yeah. It's foul.
Yeah, it's definitely foul. So we have one more segment and we'll get you out of here. It's our news segment. So here we go. So it's news, but it's more like I wanted to find something that had to do with toilets, since you're our guest, and I found a story that says 15 super weird things that were once found in toilets. This was on ranker.com by Ashley Rain, 2019. So one of these was one strange thing found in the toilet was a baby possum. Yeah, found by a San Antonio couple. I mean, that's, just taking a dip in the toilet. Baby possum.
I love possums.
Like in their home? Like they found it like in their...
Yeah,
like,
it says...
in the toilet.
What do you do when your husband finds a baby possum randomly taking a dip in your toilet? So...
you say, how'd you get in here, little fucker?
Exactly. First of all, you're in the toilet. How did you get in the house? Like, so number 2 was a live bomb from World War II. Was discovered in an outdoor toilet in Stockport, England.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Someone called the police about a strange device in an outdoor toilet, and it was a bomb from World War II.
Oh my God.
So someone must have had that like laying around. They're just like, this would be funny.
Yeah. Did they like also discover this like ancient toilet? Or
I don't know. I don't know where Stockport, England is, but I just imagine someone had something laying around. They're like, let's put this in here. Fuck it. Drunkenly put that in there.
I got to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not supposed to have this myself, so let's just...
totally. So number 3, this is more a visual thing, but is a guy stuck, wedged ass first into a porta potty.
Ugh.
Like his arms are like on the sort of where the lid is, and like his legs are sticking out of it.
Ugh.
And someone was screaming inside of a porta potty in Cape Town in 2013. Passersby investigated, discovered a guy stuck in the toilet.
Ugh.
It took rescue workers 40 minutes to get him out of there.
Oh my goodness.
How does that happen?
I mean, I'm guessing he was they said he had bloodshot eyes, so he's probably high off his ass.
All right.
So
All right.
that kind of makes sense.
Oh, no, can't
so-
do this one.
Number 4 was a huge snake, and it says huge with 7 U's. An Australian man named Eric Rantzau discovered a 3-meter long carpet python chilling in his toilet bowl.
No.
That's nuts. So we called a professional snake wrangler to come get it.
That's so scary.
Yeah. That makes me never want to go to the bathroom ever again when you hear this like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm just gonna hold it in because I don't want to see that snake.
Yeah.
3 meters is long, man.
Oh.
So number 5 was a puppy. I'm not gonna do all 15. I don't know why I'm saying the numbers, but anyway, a puppy who survived being flushed by the 4-year-old owner.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it was okay.
Yeah, but that's insane.
Poor puppy.
This one, I'll just be the last one, but this is pretty good. A shitload of money, literally.
Oh.
As it turns out,
Sounds good.
yeah. As it turns out, being the most honest janitor in the world has its perks. I cannot pronounce this person's name, but he discovered $93,000 in both the trash bins and flush down pipes in an Australian toilet in 2011. What? He did the right thing and called the police to investigate. They failed to explain the money's origins. However, the coolest judge ruled that the janitor could keep $76,000 while awarding the rest to the state. That's pretty cool.
Oh, so they took taxes.
Yeah, it took taxes out of that toilet. That's pretty awesome. I'm like, I want to find that kind of dough in a toilet.
Yeah.
You know?
Why were they, I really want to know why they were just
I think it's drug money or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So with that
I
ridiculous,
want to find that toilet.
yeah. Well, with that ridiculous story, Birgitt, thank you so much for being on our show. Thanks for being a sponsor. So everybody go out there and get SpotLESS materials. But one last time, where can the people find you? Where can they find SpotLESS materials? Tell us where to get all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So the best place to find us is at our website. It's www.spotlessmaterials with an S at the end .com.
Perfect. Awesome.
And use that promo code, Hey Poopy.
Yes. Use that promo code, people. You will not be disappointed.
Might as well.
Yeah. Thanks again for being on the show. You're fantastic. I can't
Thank you
wait
for having me.
to like report back with my spotless material test and let you know. I'm sure it's going to work perfectly. And to the audience out there, thanks for laughing. Thanks for laughing and learning everything but with us.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather, edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast and Twitter at heypoopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.